Hi, I'm Priya. I'm a dietitian and I'm mum to 6 children. So there are a lot in my household. Healthy eating and budgeting therefore are definitely my thing. I'm here today to take you on a journey to show you some of the tips and the tricks that we use in our own household in order to make healthy, delicious, nutritious meals that don't cost a fortune, but the children will eat. So today I'm going to be showing you how we cook a delicious fish pie recipe, and I can't wait for you to come on that journey with me. One thing I rely on quite heavily when I'm cooking for my large family is the freezer. I always like to make sure it's well stocked. Frozen vegetables are always a winner, and I love to have a nice range in there so that I've always got something that caters to everyone's likes and dislikes. Frozen vegetables are super nutritious because they're picked and then they're frozen really quickly, and they can be used in so many different ways. You can add them to soups, you can pop them into a casserole, into a bolognese, you can put them straight into a pasta dish as you're cooking it, or just have them as that side dish to go with your main meal as well. And then frozen fruits. We really love frozen fruit in our house because it means that you've got access to things that aren't always in season or don't even grow in this country. You can add them to your breakfast, put them on your porridge as a topping, put them in smoothies, add them to yogurt, or just have them by themselves as a dessert. We also love to pop them into cakes, for example, or as a crumble. One of my favourites is mango. Quite hard to get a good mango over here, but when you buy the frozen one, it's really nice. Let's have a think about frozen meat and fish. So frozen fish I particularly like. Whilst the texture can be slightly different, what I love about frozen fish is firstly it's cheaper, but also I know that it's been caught freshly and then it's been frozen quite soon afterwards. So I know it's going to definitely be fresh and it's retaining that nutrition for the family as well. We always have some salmon in our freezer because of the omega-3 content, and we like to use this to make fish cakes or fish fingers from scratch, or it's really great in the fish pie that I'm going to be showing you later on. And you don't have to defrost it, so I'm going to be cooking the fish pie using frozen fish. Time saving there. I also love to have a supply of meat in the freezer as well, and we would tend to buy this when it's reduced and then make sure that we freeze it straight away and grab it when we need it, defrost it and then cook. So if you've got a nice big freezer like I have, it's a really good tip. Then we always like to have a loaf of bread and some bread items in there for those moments when you've forgotten them and you have to dash to the shop. Having it in the freezer makes it easier, and also it means you can buy the reduced priced items. So we currently get our bread from a shop where it's only 35p, which is always a bargain. Other things I love to have in my freezer is I love to put the odd bits of things in. So those brown bananas, pop them in there. You can use them in smoothies, you can use them to make a cake. Bits of leftover yogurt you're not going to go through. They can be really good in casseroles or in curries. If you've got leftover chilli or garlic, again, don't bin it, you can freeze it. And any leftovers, you think about some leftover bolognese mix or something like that, it can make a really good topping on a jacket potato. So I'd really encourage you to make a super good use of that freezer. Here's how we're going to make that simple fish pie, basing it on frozen and budget ingredients. Firstly, I've got my frozen salmon here in the pan. I'm going to turn on the pan. And now I'm going to add in some milk. Now I'm using a plant-based milk here because we found it's actually cheaper than buying cow's milk. And for cooking, it works really well. So the fish is going to poach in the milk, which means it's going to soften and the milk will take on that lovely flavour. I'm going to add in some bay leaves. These have come from my garden. And then just a little bit of pepper. Then it's lid on and leave that to come up to a simmer until that fish is nice and soft. Whilst the fish is starting to poach in the milk, it's time to prepare the vegetables. I'm using a mix of fresh and frozen. You could go all frozen, making it even simpler. I've got fresh broccoli here. I'm going to use the entire head, and I'm also going to prepare the potatoes too and put these on to boil. I'm going to keep the skins on the potatoes but give them a wash. That means we're going to retain the nutrients that are just under the skin and also get extra fibre in. So the fish has now been poaching for around 10 minutes, and you know when it's ready if you take a fork and see if you can flake it. So if you can get these lovely little flakes, then you know it's all good to go. What you want to do then is give it a good flake. Make sure you flake the whole of that fish up, and then you're going to add in some lemon juice. I'm just using it straight out of the bottle, and then also your cream cheese. We've got 2 tablespoons that we're adding in here. That's going to give it that creaminess, and then some more black pepper. And then give that all a nice stir. Remember to take out that bay leaf before you go any further, and we're going to add in vegetables now. So I'm going in with the frozen vegetables. I've got mixed frozen vegetables to get all of those colours in and those nutrients. Now whilst they're frozen, they're going to cook in the warmth of this dish. So they will defrost really nicely. And then I'm going to be adding in our broccoli as well. Oh, there's the other bay leaf. So we're going in with the broccoli. Now, with this broccoli, I've actually included as much of the broccoli stalk as I can as well, because there is so much nutrition in that stalk, plus the fibre. So don't get rid of that stalk. Make sure you chop plenty of it off. And then these leftover bits are really great in soups and stocks. You can pop that in the freezer for another time. The final thing that I'm going to add in right now are the herbs. So I've got some chopped delicious fresh herbs from the garden, but you could also use some dried frozen ones as well. In everything goes, and then just giving it that good stir around. So my fish mix has now cooked. If you notice that there's not enough sauce in there, add a little bit of milk, and if it's too runny, add a tablespoon of corn flour and give that a mix through, and it'll help you thicken it. Moving to the potatoes now. The potatoes are also cooked, so I'm going to add in my butter or margarine and a little splash of milk in there too, and then time to get that arm workout with that mashing. So this is going to sit on top of the fish mixture, and then it's going to go in the oven. I'm going to put mine in at 180 degrees in a fan oven. That's going to be about gas mark 4 if you're on gas, and it will want to cook for around 30 to 40 minutes. We're going to top the mashed potato with a little bit of cheese because it makes it delicious. And also I find that it makes the children very excited when it comes to dinner if they see that lovely grated and toasted cheese on the top. So I'm about ready now to dish all of this up. Ready to dish up. So I'm going to put this lovely fixed mixture into my dish. Now I've cooked for 8 people, so don't be surprised if this doesn't all fit into my dish, because I'm actually going to be doing 2 of these. There we go. A nice layer in there. Make sure you've still got room for that mashed potato. And then adding that mashed potato on top now. I'm actually going to fluff this up with a fork so we get that lovely texture on the top. There we go. So I'm just going to give it a little press down as I go. You can see with the mashed potato where I've included the skins. So whilst it might not look as pretty, you're going to be Firstly, saving food waste, and also you're going to be giving that extra fibre to the meal as well. Almost there with that potato now. Oh yes. Make sure everything's got a good covering. I think one more scoop and we're done. So here is the finished fish pie, looking delicious. Just going to have a little look and see how it is inside. Let's have a see. So we've got all that delicious fish mixture in there. Oh, steaming hot. So there is our fish pie using our budget range of ingredients. So let's have a think about the price, shall we? So we have costed this on the Sainsbury's website and it came up at £9.92, that's £2.48 per portion. Then we've compared that to using a supermarket such as Aldi or Lidl, and that came out at £6.16, which was £1.54 a portion. Our version, we've shopped around, used a couple of different price saving tips, and we have made this of £5.05 for 4 people. So that comes in at £1.26 a portion. When you compare this to buying a ready meal, it's £2.50 a portion, but that ready meal doesn't come packed with all of these delicious vegetables. So I hope that you'll give this a try and that your family love it as much as mine do.